Welcome back, gorgeous soul. Okay, let's get it poppin'. Um, if you haven't listened to the past episode on my New York Minute and kind of all these downloads I had been getting, go check it out. And if you're like, nah, I'm good, all right, cool, just try to keep up. It's because I want to start this kind of, I just want to hit the ground running here. And if you haven't done so, what we're going to be talking about today is doing like a quick cleanse. And I don't want to get too deep into it because I did go over all of that in season one. So I will be referencing season one quite a bit. Okay. But we're going to be talking about journaling and cleansing the space because we are in November. Okay. Now, the holidays are going to be coming up quick. Now, regardless if you are boycotting or banning the holidays, if especially if you're in the States, cool. Like kudos to you. If you're unable to do so, the holidays can just be can add a little bit of a layer of extra stress, and that could be for many reasons. One, we're coming into fall and winter. Two, we're around a lot of people, especially maybe family or people that we really don't want to be around any more than we need to be. And sometimes we don't we don't have a choice, okay? Or we feel we don't have a choice. Also, just with everything going on, and of course, I can't foresee the future, but with everything going on, things are expensive. We're trying to make ends meet. We're trying to, buy gifts and at least trying to show up for people a little at a time. So around this time, even though it's, a time for family retrospection coming into ourselves, society really wants us to kind of be out there and spend and, be around family, which isn't bad. Okay. It really isn't. But honestly, this is a time, I mean, we see it in nature where, things are starting to die and to go to sleep. This is a time where we really should be focusing on our inner selves, right? Not so much outer. But again, we can't really choose a lot of what we're doing. I hope you do have a choice, and no is a complete sentence. Okay. All right. There's my little spiel. What also is coming up, you probably noticed that I'm dropping these episodes rather quickly back to back after my month-long hiatus. But there's some things coming up that I want you to be aware of. I really, really urge you to please be part of my newsletter. It's free, and my Patreon. It is free to sign up. There are paid tiers, which help me continue to do this of what I do because unfortunately, I have to pay a platform and I have to pay for Zoom and all these little things kind of add up, but I really enjoy this, so I'm trying my best to kind of keep this up. But all of your help and liking this podcast and giving a review and pushing it and sending it to somebody really 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 helps. Also on my Instagram and my TikTok, your follows mean a lot because that just shows engagement to the platforms, and that is going to help me go live, which I'll talk about. I don't know if I'll talk about it today, but we'll bring that up later. Trust me. Instagram has been really just like, making me want to crash out. All right, cool. Susie, I don't journal. I don't have time for that shit. You know what? Period. Me neither. It's just the amount of times I have tried to journal daily. Ugh, I couldn't even tell you. I love journals. I love journals. I love pens. I love all the stationery stuff. I really do. Colorful post-its and highlight. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe that's just how I was meant to be a teacher, but I love notebooks. And I would always pick like these beautiful colors and different ones. like, oh, I'm gonna daily journal, or this is gonna be my diary. You know what? I'm gonna pull a tarot card for myself every single day. I'm gonna gratitude journal every single day. And I would be really, really good until I fell off and I dropped off. And then it's like, and then it's like the guilt. It's like, well, when am I gonna have time? And I have this and that, and everybody does, right? You gotta, if you're not getting up early for work, you gotta wrangle kids or your pets. Because let's be honest, our pets are our family. They're our children too. Okay. Then you gotta take care of you and probably other people and get work done. And sometimes you have fantastic days, sometimes you have really shit days, and then Mercury's in retrograde, and you're just like, what the fuck? Now I gotta plan dinner and Thanksgiving dinner, and exactly. So let's all take a collective breath together. You ready? You can put your feet on the floor, you can put your hands on your lap or wherever you feel comfortable. Keep your eyes open if you're driving, but you can soften your gaze or you can close your eyes. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Kind of give yourself a little shake, a little shimmy. Unclench your jaw, relax the eyebrows. I know. I've been scowling a lot too. Trust. All right. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. Let it all out. Okay. Beautiful, cleansing, clearing breath. When I'm talking about journaling, I'm going to be talking about different types of journaling. Okay. But as we rewind, the reason I'm dropping this episode early is because we have a full moon in Taurus November 5th in the Northern Hemisphere, and that lands on a Wednesday. Okay. So I would love for us to start this on Wednesday, friend. Okay. Now, here are a couple of things we can do right now. One, decide what journal you want to write in. Maybe you're like, you know what? I've been wanting a new journal. I'm going to go to my local bookstore. Or, if you don't have one and you're around a big box store, that's okay. No one is judging you here. Go to Barnes and Noble, get it from Amazon, go to whatever you got to do. If you can help it and buy local, please. Always, always, and always, if you can. If you have 50 million journals just sitting, just grab it and start from there. I'm not telling you to rip out pages. What you can do though is kind of bookmark it either with a paper clip or a post-it note. But you can decorate the front of that page of where you're going to continue this on, and you can put, I don't know, your name or fresh start or whatever you want, okay? Fill it with stickers, whatever. Just so you know from there, from that point on, this is where you started, okay? Another reason I wanted to drop this early is because we are getting ready to welcome in Mercury retrograde. I know, right? It just felt like that we were just in retrograde. Now, unfortunately, Mercury will not be the only planet in retrograde. We're going to have several, and I mean a lot, but we're not going to think about those other planets just yet. We're just going to focus that we know what Mercury retrograde is, okay? And if you don't know, just super quickly, Mercury retrograde, it appears as if it's going retrograde backwards to the naked eye. It looks like it's rotating backwards. It isn't. But it's it it can have some miscommunications. You can have tech glitches. In this retrograde, it takes place in both Sagittarius and Scorpio. So when we have Mercury in retrograde, or usually any retrograde, I talk about the re's, and go back a few episodes. So we want to reassess, rest, reassess, rest, reevaluate, all of those. Like, so we are also being very, very mindful and cautious. Okay. Now, not to the point where we stop living, but if you have to sign a contract, if you have to do certain things, I implore you to please, pretty please, with the cherry on top, please reread that shit like twice, thrice. Have someone else look over it too. Because trust me, sometimes it's just gonna get you. Now, sometimes it can be messy, okay? But ultimately, some things you get clarity, okay? So, very clarifying it can be, okay? Now, this is going to start November 9th all the way through November 29th, okay? So, Mercury appears to spin in reverse, like I said. This happens about 3 to 4 times a year, okay? Now, Mercury is a messenger planet. And this is, like I said, again, please back everything up. If your check engine light is on, please go take it in right now. Reread text. I'm just saying this from past experience. Read that text and read it out loud, okay? If you can, even under your breath, because sometimes, like, we kind of go through it pretty quickly. And since Mercury isn't in detriment in Sagittarius, meaning it doesn't have the best time in this sign, this planet of communication and sharing ideas and stuff, it's going to feel very mucky. Okay. So we really want to make sure that our messages and our what we're meaning doesn't get lost in translation. We just want to take everything with a grain of salt and just be really patient and try to see things through a clear lens. Okay. So as it goes into Scorpio, that happens around November 18th. Okay. And this second part of this retrograde, because we kind of feel that first part since it's in Sagittarius, but then you feel the second part in November. And we already know how Scorpio can be. And I love Scorpio because I'm a Scorpio moon. But we really, really, really want to remember Scorpio is a water sign. Okay. And under this Mercury retrograde, this is going to bring up levels of deeper talks. Okay. And I feel this is especially important because if you celebrate Thanksgiving in November, especially if you're in the States, these deep talks, like core talks, like cut to the chase talks, are going to be happening in the sign of Scorpio. Okay. Exes sometimes like to rear their heads at this time, but what I really want you to focus on is anything that felt unfinished to you. Like if you ask a question, I hate this. Well, not a lot of people, but certain people that I no longer have contact anymore, I would ask a question and then they would redirect or bring something else up so that they wouldn't answer said question or like think I would forget about it. And it's not that I forgot, it's just like, okay, you're not ready to answer that. Anyway, those unanswered questions are going to rear itself up. And so you want those answers. Like you're not taking any bullshit anymore. Okay. But it's just how are we going to be verbalizing this? Okay, friend? What you could do is look up in a go last year, look up what you were doing around October 6th to the 29th, and which was the last time Mercury was in retrograde in Scorpio, and see where you were at that point. Okay. I'm still new to astrology. I don't know too much about it, but I do know when we have these kinds of transits, especially like in signs like this, especially because it's my moon sign, I am going to be looking back because where were you vulnerable? Where were you open? Where were you having like deep connections or maybe even hard conversations? Okay, so we're clearing the air under this Mercury retrograde, especially when it kind of goes into this sign of Scorpio. Okay, so what can we do as we come into this? All right, well, As we come into this, this is why I want us to start with our journal with this full moon in Taurus. Okay, this little treat yourself, this beaver moon. I think it's a super moon if I'm not mistaken. I also have a series on moon phases that you can go back and listen to as we move forward. Okay, so you're going to expect delays in this Mercury retrograde. You're going to back everything up. You're going to reflect. Okay, you're going to focus. You're going to take a pause. Okay, it's okay to get frustrated. Okay, but also it's okay to laugh, especially at yourself. And I know that's hard because trust me, I know I don't like to make mistakes. So it's really, really hard for me to laugh things off. But honestly, this is a go with the flow. This is the wheel of fortune. The wheel continues to turn. Okay. It's not going to stop. Life is not going to stop. So don't fear this Mercury retrograde. Now, as we move into this full moon, okay, in Taurus, this is where I want you to have this tangible thing with this earth sign. Okay. I wonder if you can hear my candle. It has a wood wick. It sounds beautiful to me. Um, so I'm hoping you can, I don't know if you can hear it. If you can, that's what's happening. And I'm about to take a little sippy. If you hear anything, that's my ice. Okay. So in my last episode, as I crunch this ice, excuse me, we were talking about, or well, I was telling you about my New York minute and how I really felt this anxiety and all the shit that I went through in New York when my phone and my magnetic wallet were stolen. Um, but once I was kind of going through it, it was really my hermit mode. Okay. So as we're looking into what I was grateful for, even though I had to take a lengthy pause from the podcast, from my newsletter, from my Patreon, from posting, it really did bring things into perspective, right? I really did need an actual break. I really needed that breath. Even though this is what I love doing, I'd rather be doing this than anything else. I needed that pause. I needed to actually experience and see like what was going on around me. So this full moon in Taurus, this is your need for stability, which is not easy, especially as we're going to be coming into that Mercury retrograde, right? It's learning to accept change as part of your life. And even though, especially it's Taurus, right? So we want to like buy all the things. This is more of a call to accept with who you are, not just at the surface level, but deep within yourself. Like really, really deep and really finding peace and tranquility from the inside out, which is very, very, very beautiful. Okay. So we want to focus on our values and our security. So this full moon is ideal for you to examine your financial situation, which trust me is something I have been looking at. I don't want to look at it too deep because it stresses me out. Okay, I'm gonna be 100% honest. As I'm recording, the government is still in shutdown. SNAP benefits, are not going to be available. Although I was looking at the news, and most states are still have them open. People are finding their humanity and helping those in need out. So I get it, right? We right now we're trying to identify what you need for greater security and comfort, especially if we have a money scarcity mindset. Okay, like myself, I really struggled that with that for years, and that kind of trauma still rears its head every now and then. So what we're also asking is to embrace practicality. All right, Taurus, Earth, grounding. We want to slow down. Okay, instead of getting caught up in our ego, we want to really be at least know that, oh, this is my ego talking. Okay. We're letting go of things that are not bringing us stability. And as we reflect on the past, not too far, okay. What do I have here? Maybe look back at the new moon in Taurus that we had April 27th and see what situations or what happened around that time. Okay, as we bring in this full moon in Taurus. Okay, um, let's get it popping. This is what we're gonna do. Okay, so that way we can feel that stability here. Going back to journaling, I know because I'm one of those where it's like I start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. That is absolutely okay. You do not need this to be a daily journal. However, I really do want you to do this, okay? On my Patreon, free for all members, I am going to be dropping into your email, into those DMs, and I'm going to be your accountability buddy, okay? If you need an accountability buddy, it could be myself, but you got to sign up for my Patreon. The link is in the notes in the description below, or follow me on my socials, or find a friend, somebody where you can help each other out. Okay, now I'm going to shout out my bestie Emily again. Hey girl. We had I had taken a free astrology class with her because she's, doing her astrology thing. And we are doing card pulls every day and we help each other out. Now, did we do every single day without fail? No. This also landed around Halloweeny time. So, but what we did do was she did me a solid, and she actually pulled cards for me when I got caught up at work. And when I got home, I had a splitting headache and I went to bed. Completely forgot about the card pull, but she pulled those cards for me. Equally, we both didn't pull cards on Halloween, you know? So the next day I was like, it's cool. We can still pull cards for the energy from the day before and then today. That's okay. Life happens. But also, you want to make this as easy for you as possible. I want you to choose when you want to do this. Do you want to do this first thing in the morning? Do you want to do it during your lunchtime so that way you're not doom scrolling? Do you want to do this in the evening? Do you want to do this on your phone or you want an actual journal? I would love for you to actually put, pen to paper. Okay. Research shows that it really does help you when you actually handwrite things down. However, that's not for everyone. Maybe that's just not where you're at right now. And all you get is maybe on your 15-minute break where you can, get a cup of coffee or a soda and a snack and maybe you do a notes app on your phone. There's also photo journaling, so maybe you just, you take a picture and then you write a little text box on it on what you're feeling or what's happening. That works too. Okay, so there are different types of journaling you can try. You can do all of them or one of them. I'm just going to start giving you some options, okay? So, you have the classic reflective journaling, maybe a diary, if you will. Okay, these are your notes about events that happen throughout the day or thoughts or feelings. Okay, we all know when we would write a diary, maybe. I had diaries growing up. One thing I'm going to be doing or and picking back up is a gratitude journal. Now, it's hard. Honestly, for me, I'm like, ugh, I can't find gratitude and shit around me. Fuck that. Like, how can I be grateful, in quotes, right? Air bunnies, with the shit that's going on that I see every day. Gratitude journaling, though, has worked for me in the past where I just write down maybe 1 to 3 things, 3 to 5 things that I grateful because when I spiral pretty bad. And this at least helps me with a positive mindset, but we are not spiritually bypassing, okay? That's not what we're doing. In my last episode, I talked about finding these pockets of beautiful moments that you really don't think of right then and there. But there are times like when I'm driving to work and I see a beautiful sunrise, and for me, I'm like, you know what? That was so beautiful that I could experience and see that. Even though I'm seeing it as I'm going to work, a place that I don't even want to be at anymore. Uh, I I'm so grateful I was actually able to see something so beautiful this morning. I'm going to put that down in gratitude. Um, my husband had to order some food out, and when we got our order, they gave us extra fries. Fuck yeah. That is positive right there. We got extra fries. So just some gratitude journaling things here and there. You know, maybe you were able to enjoy that first sip of coffee like in your car without having anybody around you. That is also something you could be grateful for. Okay. Um, this is a new one I was thinking of doing more, and they're called morning pages. So it's just like a free flow of writing for the first thing in the morning. Okay. It's a mind dump or a brain dump if you ever done those before where you just start like just writing. I woke up this morning, I had a weird dream and I can't even remember it. It's just bits and pieces. I don't know what that means. Um, Whatever. Like you're just doing that morning pages. So it's like you're clearing your mind and hopefully it boosts up like your creativity, but also everything that maybe you were holding on to is like out on paper. This could also be done at night. And I recommend that at night, especially if you have a brain that's just always going, always going, always going, and just writing everything down and out. So hopefully you don't wake up at all hours of the morning. Speaking of first thing in the morning, you can even do just straight up dream journaling, right? Writing down your dreams after you wake up. And it has to be right then because once you get up, forget it, Charlie. It's all going away. For myself, dream journaling doesn't work. I had to leave myself voice notes or like the voice to or like a voice memo or the talk to text thing because once I turned the light on, once I started writing, like it would just go away. And I'm still trying to wake up, so my eyes are like halfway closed. That was just for me. Um, Let me see what else. Creative journaling. Now, this is just like a space for ideas. This is great, especially when you feel like you're in a creative rut. You can draw, have quotes, inspiration. Um, I don't know, maybe you just look up a word for the day and it's like one of those SAT words and you just write it down and then you just kind of maneuver that word around your journaling. You could also do tarot or oracle or rune reading, right? So even just pulling a card and actually have my Samhain deck in front of me. So let's pull a card. Let's see. Oh my goodness, coming of winter. Um, It comes in lullabies deep within your mirrored flesh. Alas, it is time to lay your quivering chest upon the winter's coming. And in the photo, there's a woman looking out a window and there's candles lit and you can see that there's snow outside of the window and there's a table with some books and a picture frame on it and she's wearing a white dress. So I could pull this and just write coming of winter and just kind of like writing things along those lines, which is great for creative ruts. Um, let's see. You could also do productivity journaling, so your tasks, your goals, your habit tracking. I don't write this in a journal. Um, but I make myself a list on what I'm going to do, and then I do that. So like I had gotten off of this habit or this routine when I went out of town, but I wake up at least 10 minutes earlier than my usual. and I get on my vibration plate and I oil pull for that time and I listen to binaural beats. So or you can listen to pink noise or green noise or, whatever frequencies. Maybe listen to affirmations at that time. It honestly is, ugh, I love that. I love doing it. I hate waking up a little bit earlier, but it really does set me up for my day, because no one else is awake because I'm waking up a little bit earlier. Anything that might keep you focused or like on track. I've never done this, bullet journaling. I've never done that. I know a lot of people love it's like a system for quick notes and tracking and symbols and a planner and stuff. It's a productivity tool. I've just never used it. I don't know why it doesn't appeal to me. It just doesn't. Maybe someone needs to school me on it. I don't know. What else? What else? What else? I think that was it. Okay, so why do we need, what's up with the cleansing? All right, let me tell you what I was talking about with the cleansing. I want us to cleanse and clear our space, okay? As we get started, as we prepare with this full moon. I want us to go ahead and just take a breath, and we'll do this together in the next episode. And you can do this many different ways. You can do it with a bell, you can do it with a sound bowl, you can do a smoke cleanse. With in a little spray bottle, you can put water with you can infuse it with any herbs, just make sure you strain it out, or just like a pinch of salt, for protection and to clear out and cleanse and spray yourself with it. What else am I missing? You can do limpias, like an egg limpia, take a shower and just imagine all of that energy that is no longer serving you just kind of going down the drain. We're going to cleanse and clear ourselves. And then we're going to cleanse and clear whatever pen you want to use or pencil or marker, and your notebook or the app that you're going to use on your phone. Okay, so we're just going to visualize it. Visualize it with, incense or smoke. Visualize it, with a clearing of the bell and just kind of opening ourselves up to clearing out the energy that may be stagnant in that pen or whatever. That way it's set and ready to go. Oh, that's what I was going to say. You can even dedicate a day of the week if you want to instead of daily. Now, in episode season 1, I went over the magical days of the week. I went over color magic. So whatever you're going to be journaling about, whether it's a gratitude journal, maybe it's for your goals, or maybe it's for your manifestation, whatever it is, you can use a certain color of pen, or you can focus on one day or a couple of days out of the week that will help you with your goal. So if you're looking for, I don't know, you have a goal or for manifestation, right? You're manifesting a new job or whatever it is, a promotion, whatnot. You're looking for that expansion. So I would probably write in my journal on a Thursday, which is Jupiter's day, or on a Friday, Venus day, because both of those days are about expansion, are about bringing in abundance, prosperity, all of that stuff, attraction. If we're looking maybe for gratitude journaling, that would be a great thing for daily, but you could also do it on a Sunday. So you can gratitude journal all of the things that you are grateful for the week, right? So we're just trying to find little things daily. You found a penny on the floor. You went to the grocery store and you spent $27 even. I don't know. Those are just little things where it's like, oh, I noticed that. On a license plate, you noticed the number on the plate was 222 and then a letter, whatever. On Sunday, that is the Sunday, right? So all about the happiness, being grounded, all of that good stuff. So, do you have a little bit of homework? Kinda. You can go back and listen to those episodes, or you can Google it. It's super easy. But I want us to do and start this journey together. Okay? If you're learning tarot, you're learning the runes, or maybe you're a seasoned practitioner, maybe you do pull a card. If you're doing this daily and you're doing the journal, put your journal somewhere where you'll see it every day. You brush your teeth every morning, put your journal right there. Put your journal right there. You go to the bathroom every day, I mean, or in the morning, you relieve yourself. Maybe that's where you put your journal, maybe in a place where it won't be all icky, but you can write in there if that's the only place people ever give you any peace. You know what I mean? Um, wherever you're going to find that. If you're using your phone, and you can use your phone also with this, put an alarm, a daily alarm that you set, okay, that okay, I can take time here. If you know your lunchtime is from 12 to 12:45, then maybe at 12:30 put the alarm, because at least you don't want to do it at 12 because you're probably warming up your food, getting in your car, getting ready to order, door dashing, whatever, right? Washing your hands, getting ready to eat. You want to do it when, like, all right, you've already maybe taken a few bites. It's at this time, right before you need to finish, journal a little bit. I want us to get into this habit together. I want us to see the pockets of positivity in a time where it feels so heavy. Okay? Trust. Now, if you have a goal in mind, how are we going to get to those goals? Okay? So as you're journaling, I really need to set, an intention or get my resume out. It's just the thought of doing it makes me feel. But if I know that if I do it, I'll probably feel, and this will probably open doors, and you're just inserting all these things. You know what I mean? Getting ready for bed. My kid actually ate all of their vegetables without me having to hound them, and bath time was a breeze. Now I can go to sleep. You know what I mean? Like 10 minutes earlier than if it would have been how it usually is, or whatever the case may be. I want us to get through that together. Now, to start that, okay, just to start it, okay, as you're figuring out, I'm going to pull a card for us. As you're figuring out, which journal you want to use, what pen color, am I going to do it on paper? Am I going to do it on the phone? As we're getting all that situated, I'm going to pull a card just to give us that boost of energy where we're at, okay? All right, for my listeners on the pod, energy to get us motivated to do this journaling. Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is about being nice, grounded, and slowing down, which is perfect because the other knights in the deck, the horses are moving. They're moving forward. The Knight of Pentacles, and I'm using the Light Seers Tarot. The person is not even on the horse. The horse is behind them as they're both like taking a leisurely walk. And you see these beautiful discs, these pentacles. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, if that number resonates with you. 11 pentacles, these colorful discs. And it's a grassy plain. The horse is beautifully dressed in flowers. Their saddle is beautifully colored. Like you could just tell it's like a beautiful leather. It looks like a black horse with some maybe gray accents or white accents. And it just looks like they're just, okay, we're not in a hurry on this journey. We're taking our time. And that's what I want you to do as we prepare. We're not out the gate, there's the last thing I want to do is give you something else to do, especially around the holidays, but there's a method to this witchy madness. And I want you to stick with me on this. Okay? I have a beautiful gift for you later, but I want us to do and start this one thing. I know you can do it. I know we can do it because trust me, I fall off this too. Okay? So, take a breath. We're going to take this a knight of pentacles energy, not swords. Knight of pentacles energy. We're going to take a deep breath and we're going to figure out what we want to do. At the very least, we want to take the notes on the notes app or whatever you want to do. Or maybe it's voice memoing every day, or maybe we're journaling. You don't have to decide what kind of journaling you're going to do, whether it's bullet or diary or gratitude or, task oriented. Maybe it's all of them. Maybe it's all of them. And you're just like, yeah, I want to dip my toes into all of this. Cool, cool beans. That's what we're going to focus on. And I'm going to help you. So either join my Patreon and we're going to be accountability buddies or find a friend to do this with. It's going to be a fun journey to go on together. All right, so we're done here, gorgeous soul. Make sure to click on all the links built down below in the show notes in the description. We've got this, and I will see you at the Taurus full moon.